Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this today's video we will continue the chapter group theory. In the last class we have seen that definition of homomorphism and the definition of isomorphism. Also we had discussed about automorphism and endomorphism also. Okay, so here we discuss about some properties of homomorphism, or you can take them as theorem. Okay, we shall prove these theorems. First theorem: if f is homomorphism of G into G bar, then f of E is equals to E bar. F of E means image of identity element is equals to identity element which is in G bar. Okay, that means here this element E is from G and this E bar from G bar. That means here image of identity element is equals to E bar, where E and E bar are identities of G and G bar. So in the homomorphism we consider two two groups from G to G bar. Okay, so now what it means, that image of any element identity element from this group is equals to identity element from this element. Okay, so that means always image of the identity element is equals to identity element from the second group. Okay, so this is f of E is equals to always E bar. Second one, inverse of here. First see this one, f of x inverse equals to f of x whole inverse. So that means that image of inverse of an element is equals to inverse of image of that element. So we shall prove this one by one. First let us prove this one. Okay, so here we have to prove that identity element, image of the identity elements from the first set is equals to image identity element in the second group, not set group. Okay, so let us prove this one. Proof: we know that for all x belongs to G, for any element x belongs to G, we can write this one as x equals to x dot E. So that is, so see here x equals to xe means, so if you operate with identity element you will get the same element. Okay, for x belongs to G we have x equals to xe. Okay, if I consider this from the considering images on both sides, we get f of x equals to f of xe, right? So here you can write it, where E is identity element. Okay, because E is identity element, we can operate with any element, we will get the same element. Okay, now we considering image on both sides. On considering image on both sides, we get f of x, f of xe. But by the definition of homomorphism we have, so that is, this is by the definition of homomorphism, we have f of ab is equals to f of a star f of b, right? Here star, it just indicate that it is also the same operation here. Okay, so you can write our f of ab equals to f of a dot f of b, both are same, right? So by using the definition of homomorphism we can write this one as f of x is equals to, this can be written as f of x into f of e. So this is by definition of homomorphism. Okay, so this one from the definition of homomorphism, consider this as equation 1. So we are considering this as equation 1. Now since we know that, or it is given that E bar is the identity element, okay, identity element of that G bar. Okay, so let E bar be the identity element in G bar. So we have E bar is the identity element in G bar. We can operate this E bar with any other element of the G bar, and we know that G bar contains all the images because we have a homomorphism from G to G bar, means here this G bar contains all the elements such that these are the images of elements from this G. Okay, so that means if here we have an element G element in G as X, then in the G bar we will have f of X. That means this G bar always contains images of these elements of G, right? So this is from the definition of homomorphism. So since E bar be the identity element in G bar, we can operate this E bar with other elements of G bar, as we have done in the X belongs to G. We can write it as X equals to X dot E. But here all the elements of the G bar of the form images. Okay, images of elements from this first set. Okay, therefore we can write this one as, also we know that f of X belongs to G bar, because as I told you that always G bar contains elements such that which are the images of the first set, that is first group. Okay, so therefore always elements of the G bar in the form of f of X only. Okay, so we know that f of X belongs to G bar, therefore we can operate this E bar with f of X. Therefore we can write f of X into E bar equals to f of X. Okay, or we can write it as f of X equals to f of X into E bar. Okay, this is from the identity law. Consider this as equation 2. Now you can observe that from equation 1 and 2 LHS are same, we can equate the RHS part. So that is from 1 and 2 we can write f of X dot f of E is equals to f of X dot E bar. Now here from the left cancellation we can cancel these two. We can directly write it as f of E is equals to E bar. So this is our first proof. So here we have cancelled from left cancellation law. Okay, so we have cancelled this f of X on both sides. This is from the left cancellation law, therefore we get f of E equals to E bar. This is the first one. Okay, next we shall prove the second one. Now we shall prove the second one. For this, so in that second one we know that we have for all X belongs to G, its inverse also belongs to G itself. Okay, because G is a group. Okay, so we can write it as from closure law. What the closure law states? Closure law states that for A comma B belongs to G, AB also belongs to G. Therefore here X and X inverse belongs to G. We can write it as X dot X inverse also belongs to G. This is by the closure property. So closure property we have that. So first property of the group for A comma B, for all A comma B belongs to G, we have AB belongs to G. So from that here we have X belongs to G and X inverse also belongs to G. We can write it as X inverse also belongs to G. Okay, so here we got this X into X inverse belongs to G, means we can write this one as image of X inverse belongs to which set? So image belongs to G bar, right? Therefore we can write it as from the definition of homomorphism, f of X inverse is equals to f of x into f of x inverse. So this is by definition of homomorphism. Okay, so consider this as equation 3. This is equation 3. Okay, now also we know that, so from the group theory, from the identity law, we know that x inverse equals to, sorry, not identity, from the inverse law we know that an element into its inverse equals to, we get E. This is by the inverse law. Okay, so by inverse law we can write x inverse equals to E. Now taking image on both sides, we get f of x inverse equals to f of E. But now only we have proved that this f of E equals to E bar from the first proof. Okay, so this is by first property, right? So therefore you consider this as equation 4. Now equating equation 3 and 4, that is from equation 3 and 4 we can write. So this is the equation 3, f of x into f of x inverse equals to, we got E bar, right? Okay, then we can write it as, so see here, on comparing this with identity element, inverse law, that is inverse law states that an element into its inverse equals to E. So if you are getting in this form, we can say that this A inverse is the inverse of this A. So here also we are getting same, f of x into f of x inverse equals to E. So here we have two elements is equals, that is operation of two elements, that is f of x into f of x inverse equals to E bar. So if we are getting E bar, means we can say that this element is the identity element of, inverse of the first element. Okay, so that means it implies that this element f of x inverse is identity element of, inverse of f of x. So that means in the, it can be written as f of x inverse is inverse of f of x, means, so we can write it as, so that means it can be written as f of x whole inverse is equals to f of x inverse, right, for all x belongs to G. So this is the second proof. Okay, or you can write it as f of x inverse is equals to f of x whole inverse for all x belongs to G. Okay, second theorem, let f from G to G bar is a homomorphism and H be a subgroup of G, then f of H is again a subgroup of G. Okay, so here given that f from G to G bar is a homomorphism, okay, and H is a subgroup of G. So here we have H is a subgroup of G, so it means definitely it is a subset of G. H is subset of G, that means all the elements of H are in G, right? So then we have to prove that images of all the elements of H. So here f of H is a set which contains images of all the elements of this H. That means here f of H is such that proof we have this f of H. It means that here we have all the elements of the form f of H for all H belongs to H. Okay, so then we have to prove that this f of H is a subgroup. In order to prove any set is a subgroup, first we have to prove that that is a subset of the given group, then we prove the subgroup. Okay, first we should prove that f of h is subset of G, then we prove that f of h is a subgroup of G. For that, from the necessary and sufficient condition, we have for all a comma b belongs to H, first H must be subset of G. This is the first condition. Then second condition is for all a comma b belongs to H, AB inverse must also belongs to H. Then only we say that H is a subgroup of this G. So we prove in this way. First we shall prove f of H is subset of G. Then we prove that f of H is a subgroup of G. Since H is subset of G, all the elements which belongs to H, for all H belongs to H, it implies that H also belongs to G, right? Because H is a subset of G. Then we can write it as image, here itself, image of this H belongs to G bar, because we have F from G to G bar. All the images of elements of G contained in G bar. Okay, therefore we can say that image of this H belongs to G bar. So that means if image of H means this is the element of this set f of H. Therefore we can say that f of H belongs to G bar, since f of H belongs to set f of H, right? Sorry, f of H is subset of G bar. Okay, now we consider, that is, let x bar and y bar belongs to f of H be any arbitrary elements of f of H. Okay, then we shall prove x bar into y bar whole inverse belongs to f of H. If we prove this one, then we can say that f of H is subgroup of G. Okay, for this one, so here we have considered x bar and y bar belongs to f of H, means this x bar, all the elements of f of H of the form f of H. So therefore this clearly we can say that x bar is image of any elements of H, that one we can consider it as f of H1. Okay, so because x bar is the element of f of H, so these all the elements of the form f of H1, f of H2, f of H3 and so on. So therefore we consider x bar equals to f of H1, and definitely y bar will be f of H2. So for some elements H1 comma H2 belongs to H, right? Then we consider x bar into y bar inverse equals to, substitute this value, we get f of H1 into f of H2 inverse. Okay, or it can be written as f of H1 into f of H2 inverse. Okay, because we know that now only we have proved that this one, that f of x inverse is equals to f of x whole inverse. Okay, this is by the first theorem. Okay, now by the definition of homomorphism, we can write it as x bar dot y bar whole inverse equals to f of H1 into f of H2. It can be, so once again I will write, this can be written as f of H1 into f of H2 whole inverse. So this is by definition of homomorphism. Okay, so we may consider this as equation 1. So this is, also we know that H is a subgroup of G from the necessary and sufficient conditions of subgroup. We have for any H1 and H2 belongs to H, we have, so this is for all H1, we have H1 H2 whole inverse belongs to G. If I take image on both sides, we get f of H1 H2 whole inverse belongs to f of, so this is not G, this is H, here we have H, so here we have f of H. So now from the equation 1 we substitute this in the equation 1, that is equation 1 implies that x bar dot y bar whole inverse belongs to this f of H for all x bar comma y bar belongs to f of H. So therefore we can say that f of H is a subgroup of G. Okay, this is the required proof.